Good morning and welcome to today's install. We've been busy on the wash bay. So I'm going to have a little walk around and show you exactly what it is we have been doing. So if you saw our previous video on moving the wash bay shed back from my house back to the studio in Rookley, we've also made some nice amendments, I'm going to call them out here. It's looking tidy. So we have a fence to block the eyesore, which is next door. That's cool. We've got our reel outside on the shed now. We're having some permanent water and electric fed from the building into the wash bay shed too. So that's going to be all permanent fixtures. Also, it's pretty good in here. We've got easy access to all the fluids that we use on a daily basis. We've also got a purified water system in the corner there. So we've got spotless water. We've just invested in a hot wash too. So we've now got 110 degree cleaning system. That's perfect for oil leaks and obviously wheel arches and chassis. Brand new piece of equipment that's just been supplied by Mac Tools Isle of Wight. Get at me in the messages if you want to price one of these. We can supply them as well. I'm very happy with this piece of equipment. Has a really good flow rate and high PSI too. So yeah, there is the wash bay shed and it's just looking a bit tidier. Transit's here for pre-sales and sale or return. So this is in for me to clean and advertise. Has the Motion R wheels. They were supplied by us. And this one's here ready for minting up because it is pretty groggy inside. There's no way we would sell it looking like that, or indeed like that. So that is next in the bay to be sorted, but I thought I'd just show you what's going on out here. And next up we're going to be putting another fence and gate there to block off these people that keep walking through here at night time. I don't like it and I'm not going to live with it, so that is why we have cracked on and got ourselves a bit more secure. Right, there's this horrible wall here. That is next up. This is getting power washed and then it is getting painted company colours with our logo in the middle. Very excited to see that happen. That's also been a long time coming, and then we will have a pretty tremendous wash bay space. So happy with how that's starting to look out here. It's difficult keeping these areas clean. I know that sounds weird, but they take a lot of hammering from all the dirty vehicles that we certainly look after on a daily basis down here at the studio. So that's that. In the shop we go, and then into the main workshop. So at the moment we've got a couple of nice bits in. We've got a Skoda VRS and a Porsche 911. Now the 911 is a very long-standing loyal customer of ours, Mark. He's bought the exact same spec car that I actually owned about 18 months ago. He's bought a GTS 991.2. Lovely spec thing, but it's got all the Alcantara on the inside. He's asked me to unclog it. So we're going to video doing that today as well, because there is no need for dirty Alcantara. There just isn't. You don't want that. Flip the camera around and show you what it is we got going on. So there's the 911. It's a cabriolet one. Got the cabriolet hood down, so it makes life easier for me to access the interior. Here is what we're talking about. Very clogged, dirty Alcantara. We'll show you guys how to fix that as well. And then obviously through the middle we've got the Alcantara, and then all the leather faced areas that you find throughout the car. Being a GTS, it does have some rear occupant seats, which is quite handy. Centre lock wheels for the win. This is exactly the exact same age and spec as the one I had, but I had a coupe with a dovetail spoiler as opposed to a cabriolet. So Tom's working on a Skoda VRS. That's in for a single stage polish and ceramic coating. Big fan of these. And in the other bay we have a transporter camper van, which is also here for sale or return. And this is a fully converted, kitted out, let's go camping weekend kind of affair. So yeah, this one is ready for marketing. I'm going to get onto that later. Get that marketed and on Auto Trader and all the various sales outlets, and then people can come and view it here and buy it if they wish. So there's part one of today's update. I'm going to crack on with the video now, focusing on the interior of this Porsche. First port of call, you probably can't see that very well, but it's upside down, but Stiano Gloss Ini for Alcantara. So Going to top this up now, get that over onto the Porsche and show you how we use Stiano Gloss Ini to clean Alcantara areas. Right guys, so first port of call, I actually quite like using the Colour Lock leather brush, but any leather brush that's not too soft that it doesn't do the job, but it's aggressive enough to get it clean. So the bristles are quite firm on this, but soft enough not to damage anything. What I do is I normally charge the brush full of Ini first, then coat your steering wheel very thoroughly. Obviously this is a product that's designed to be used on the inside of your car, so a little bit of overspray on other areas isn't going to necessarily affect anything, but I have taken the time to mask up the seat and the clocks. We don't want that dirt going anywhere. So in a nice gentle forward and back motion, going quite thoroughly around all 360 degrees of the steering wheel. And you'll start to see the dirt appearing through the foam, which is what you want, because that means we're getting into the pores of the steering wheel itself and the Alcantara. So this process, we normally do one go first, go right the way around the steering wheel, dry it out, then use an airline to fluff the Alcantara back up to that nice feeling that you get when you touch it. At the moment this is completely and utterly matted and it's no good. And the customer just says, I just don't like it because it feels like I'm touching the previous person, and I get that. But you don't have to be worried about this. You can give it a fair bit of abuse, because at the end of the day it is a leather material and it is there to design and take this kind of cleaning. Otherwise you're always going to have that matted feeling. And my steering wheel in my 911 was exactly the same as this, exactly the same steering wheel and the exact same condition. And after a bit of time with Ini, we got it restored back to where it should be. So we'll pick this back up in a minute. I'll get it dry and show you the difference that this indeed will make. Right guys, so now you've gently cleaned all of the pores of the Alcantara completely free of dirt. You're going to be left with the surface residue of Ini. I'm getting it to run quite clear now after a few attempts with the brush. I've been into all the crevices and I've also been into all the stitching and obviously around the back of the steering wheel as well. Next thing though is get yourself a very clean microfiber towel and a nice quality one. You don't want any contaminants from anything else you may have used that cloth for to then get onto our steering wheel. So all we will do now is dry the steering wheel completely and gently right the way round using your microfiber, and you'll start to see that fresh looking Alcantara once again, which is just beautiful. And what will happen now is we'll let this air dry for a good few hours, and then when we come back to it, you might even see it now, you'll see the direction of the suede change when you put your finger on it, which shows that it is clean, because there's no way really of telling other than feeling Alcantara, because if it feels clogged up and not very nice, if you have a look over here, Tom, you can see what I can see in better light. So you can see now that the suede is moving in two directions, which is what you want it to do. When it's doing that, we know it's clean. What we will do as well to help it is we'll put an airline over it just to get rid of any of those residues and help the drying process. But that is how you clean your suede steering wheel. Right guys, so the other thing we do when we're doing full interiors, especially with Alcantara, is we need to treat the seats the same way we do the steering wheel. So we need to get into the pores of the leather. Now I've gone for a slightly softer brush because obviously these areas aren't in contact with our hands, and it's a different cleaning method because we don't have to be as, I don't like using that word aggressive, but we do have to be a little bit aggressive with these to get all of the skin pores and skin creams and stuff out of them. But with the chair, certainly, when this is done, we want to be able to see both sides when we stripe the chair that it's clean. The whole reason striping came about was to show that both sides of the pile of the suede were in fact clean. If it's all smushed down, it will kind of look okay to your eye, but it doesn't mean to say it's clean. So when we're doing this, we again layer up a lot of ini to the area you're about to clean. Making sure you get down into the crevices both sides. Now obviously this product is suitable to be used on your leather faced areas as well as the Alcantara. But take your Viscolar brush and literally very gently back and forth, working into the seat. And I don't know if you can see that on camera, Tom, but we're starting to get a little bit of white. So we're getting the solution to get into there, but we're not distorting the finish. So it's a bit time consuming. Using plenty of product means you will not damage it. Ini has got to be my favorite, safest way of cleaning leather and interior. It's not an all-purpose cleaner. It doesn't have any really, really powerful cleansers in it. It's a gently way of cleaning leather. So as said, backwards and forwards, and then get into your gaps on the sides as well, until you get that nice sort of white look. And when you see that white look, you know that any dirt that's coming to the surface, when we get our microfiber later to dry that down, you can already see how much brighter that looks just from when you compare the two. That's us getting the dirt to the surface. Now, on really extreme cases, we do use a wet vac gently to remove any dirt. That's in extreme cases. 15-year-old Type R seats, for example, or Focus R SCSs. Sometimes when they've been neglected for a period of time, this will get the Alcantara to come back to life, but it will not get it looking lovely. This Porsche is obviously a bit younger and very good quality materials. But as I say, backwards and forward motion, nice and gently, making sure you're getting into all the pores of the suede and not missing any areas, because the last thing you want to do is go to all this hassle and then dry it and you've missed a bit, because you're gonna have to repeat the process. But as you can see, gentle brushing with ini will restore the finish of the chair. And while you're there, don't forget to go into your leather faced areas again with the same brush, and then when you dry these off, which I will demonstrate, they will go back to being super, super matte, which is what we want from leather. We don't want to condition it, we just want it to be a nice matte finish. Now, I don't know if you can see that, Tom, is that returning back to where it should do?
Looks it.
Evaporating nicely. And that's the look we want. We do not want shiny leather. The leather in this car is very shiny, where it's just not had a deep clean. It's just had different clothes and people getting in and out of it, which creates oil on the surface of the leather. So make sure you go around all of your faced areas with the same brush. I've already done the top of this chair. And then once that's evaporated, we'll get the camera and show you the look of the seat after that cleaning regime. Looking good though. So that's the interior of the Porsche now completed. As we expected, very nice matte finished leather throughout. Clean suede or Alcantara. Gear levers also had some attention because that was quite bad. Put a before and after of that up now. And as we explained, the steering wheel now looking absolutely brand new after a dose of ini. And that only extends to all of the door card areas and leather faced and carbon inlays. And on a cabriolet, we also go right the way through out all of the rubber sealing areas too, because these get dirty and often overlooked on routine cleaning maintenance. But yeah, I think that looks absolutely lovely. All carpet mats shampooed, pedals cleaned, right the way through to the rear as well. But I think you'll agree that looks absolutely brand new. Now this car's actually covered 56,000 miles, so it isn't new by any means, but with the materials that Porsche use, you're often able to get them looking absolutely brand new every time you clean them, because they are such high quality cars. They really are, and they're a joy to clean. So also next up, we've been talking to the customer because he said it had a ceramic coating in its life at some point. Now it is glossy, but after using CarPro heavy dose acidic bath shampoo, we've managed to cleanse the surface, and the PDI wax that was certainly put on by the dealer is now gone, and we can see some defects throughout the car. So going to talk to the owner about that, see if he wants to go down the route of a single stage polish and a ceramic coating at some point, And all that's left for us to do on this car today is get that roof up, get that nice and dry, and then we're able to add some hydrophobic protection to the hood because that is pooling water and not repelling. So that's something we want to get done for the customer this time round. But yeah, looking really lovely. Tom's on the Skoda VRS. This is, well, it's popping. It really is. What a fantastic blue. So he's done a single stage polish on this one and first coat of ceramic. Yep. Yeah, so it's on first layer of Seaquartz UK. So this will be having 2 layers, so there's even more gloss to come. But what a lovely car. Just really is a nice, honest, unmodified VRS. In the back unit, Steve's got the Transit Custom we've got in for sale. That is had all the cleaning steps carried out so far for our pre-sale service. This one will be going up for sale on the internet as soon as it's done, but it's looking nice now. Just need to get on the interior and get those seats clean and all those plastic areas ready for photographs later on today. So nice van that. It's going to be up at 9495. It's got the Motion R wheels, it's low mileage, and it's magnetic grey. And I think it is not that old, Jess. It's a 16 plate. So nice modern van. It is a limited too, so it's got the navigation, climate control, and heated seats as well. Excuse the inside, we've got to get on here, but yeah, a nice spec van, 100% for somebody, that one. Again, that's here on sale or return. So yeah, get this cabriolet hood up and we'll get applying some Seaquartz fabric to that. And then that's the Porsche ready to cure overnight and ready for tomorrow morning's collection. There's the Porsche 911 GTS, now finished. Complete with very, very clean steering wheel and interior. That is just lovely now. It's just nice and soft, as the customer wanted it. He said it just didn't feel like suede, and we've done that throughout the entire dashboard, center console, and interior seating, and the door cards. Absolutely looking lovely. What a beautiful car as well. Excited to hand this over to Mark when he gets here. They really are beautiful, aren't they? Love the centre locks on the GTS as well, so you get painted calipers and centre locks on the GTS spec of this era, as well as it's being a little bit tiny lower than the 4S when these were produced. Just a cool, cool car. That's the end of today's daily vlog, and just wanted to show you guys how you can clean interior suede on your car using Cyano Gloss Ini. It is one of the most versatile products we sell as well as use in the workshop. It's so gentle, it doesn't cause damage, but it's powerful enough to get the finish you desire. But listen guys, thank you ever so much for watching this video. Please give it a thumbs up, much appreciated. All of you guys watching as well, and I'll see you on the next one.